Hey everybody, it's Marshall Monkey here, and it's going to be my Descendants movie review, talking all about the movie and how great it was. So let's get started. So this movie was pretty amazing. Descendants, the story of the four kids, of the four villains, Cruella de Vil, Jafar, Evil Queen, and Maleficent. Oh my gosh, just everything was really great about this movie. That it was really good. This is basically Kenny Ortega's work. You know, if you remember High School Musical, you remember him, director and all that stuff. So he directed Descendants. Very great movie. I think that the things I love about this movie the most are the costume designs, the set designs, the music, just everything that's really great, because Kenny Ortega's vision for this movie was a modern fairy tale story, and this really hit the spot on that. It really did a really good job of making it a modern fairy tale story. So yeah, it was pretty good. But about that perspective, you know, it was really good for a modern fairy tale. You know, we have tablets, we have Wi-Fi, we have motorcycle, we have all this crazy stuff that the original fairy tales didn't have. I think this is like maybe more than 20 years past the classic stories, except like, I think in the movie, where Disney's movie, The Classic Tale, Maleficent died, but I think. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I guess they changed a few aspects of the story, but it's a really fun, you know, concept of the kids of these villains. So, of course, you guys know the story. They go to Auradon after Ben makes his proclamation. They get there. Their mission from their parents is to steal the fairy godmother's magic wand. So, yeah, it was really good, you know, kind of sending them in as double agents. Well, not really double agents. They were already summoned there anyway. But then they got that mission from them to get the fairy godmother's magic wand. Who we saw in this movie, the fairy godmother, we saw, you know, a lot of kids of, you know, the fairy tale characters. We saw Mulan's daughter, we saw the fairy godmother's daughter. We saw Snow White, or sorry, not Snow White. Actually, no, we saw Snow White and Prince Charming's son. We saw Sleeping Beauty's daughter. We saw all these people that are really cool, that we haven't seen before. So it's really fun to see those guys. One of the things I do respect about this is that, if you guys remember who Cameron Boyce plays Carlos, huge fan of him. He actually said that it was very hard, you know, filming this film, because it was like dancing and the singing and the acting and just memorizing it all, and just over this past, I think it was 2014 when they filmed it. So it was just all this craziness. It took a long time. It was amazing. It was craziness. So, you know, it was really hard. So to see them go through this to make this really great film was very appreciative, and I think that that's really cool that we got this amazing film because they worked so hard. And they're very genuine cast. The cast they have is very great. They really care about this movie and everything else that they've done to make it a really good movie for everybody else. So it was really good just to see that they've worked really hard, because this movie is very great. It's probably one of my favorite Disney movies I've seen in a long time, or Disney Channel movies, sorry, because it's just so good. I mean, it's very good. It's a very fun movie full of heart, and it's about these villainous kids who turn good. So let's talk about the music. Very modern sound. If you guys remember, like, Rotten to the Core, mostly that song in general is very, very modern sounding. It's very crazy. It's very awesome. And another one, Be Our Guest. They kind of modern, you know, did a modern sound for that one. They kind of revamped it to make it like really modern, kind of. You know, it has a little bit of rapping in it, which is really cool. So they're doing a lot of modern styled music in these fairy tales, which is, I think, part of the reason why it kind of helps the whole modern fairy tale idea in the movie. So it's really cool to see that as well. Another thing, the costumes, very well done. I love the four kids' costumes. Like the first one where they're wearing leather and they kind of start wearing other things, you know. It's kind of cool to see that they made these kids super leather bad people kids, and then they get to Auradon, everybody's just like dressed so properly, like preppy, yet they're wearing like crazy weirdo, it's just like, oh my gosh, like bad evil clothes. It's like, what? Also, like the hair that they've done, Carlos, Mal, Evie, just the hair, oh my gosh. You know, Boo Boo Stewart didn't have to do anything to his hair, so I guess he was probably happy that he didn't have to do that much for his whole hair. But they others had to change their hair color, which is actually pretty cool, because it helps their character. So yeah, it was really cool to see all that stuff. So let's talk about the story. So of course we go through the movie with Mal. You know, Mal is trying to please her mother. She's trying to please Maleficent because, you know, she wants her to be proud. She wants her mom to be proud of her. So she goes through this whole thing where she has to get that wand. You know, the others pretty laid back, pretty chill while they're there a little bit. You know, Jay even thought of staying there for a few seconds till Mal kind of like slapped some sense into him at that point. But it was, you know, so Mal had to get that wand. She has to please her mother. She has to make this right. She has to make her mom proud of her. So that's what, you know, her whole thing in the story is about. They break into the museum. Fun thing, there's a bunch of Easter eggs in the back. You can see the Beauty and the Beast rose. You can see like King Triton's Triton. You can see a bunch of crazy fairy tale stuff in the back being monitored, which is one of my favorite parts of the movie. You see all that stuff. So, you know, they go through this whole thing, this whole journey with Mal trying to be that way. Evie, big fashionista, but her mom tells her, you have to have a prince to be happy. You have to have this, you have to have a man to be happy. Which Evie goes through this story being like, oh yeah, I do at first. But then, you know, she kind of, they have that Doug ship. Doug is Dopey's son. I think, was it Dopey? Yeah. So seeing that was really cool. I hope that they have like some kind of spin-off movie where Evie and Doug get married. That would be so crazy. That is so cool to see them kind of communicate and all that stuff. So, you know, she goes through, you know, knowing that a prince is not really what she needs. She needs someone who's genuine, or she doesn't really need anybody at all. They prove that too. Another one is Carlos about dogs. He hated dogs, like these rabid pack animals, but yet he finds a dog, and he finds a dog that he really likes as a pet. So it was cool too. And Jay, of course, becomes a team player and really in the team, and so all that stuff. So they found their happy endings, I think, in this movie, staying in Oradon. So yeah, the song's really great. Like I said, I think I'm probably maybe gonna buy a song or two off the soundtrack. I don't know yet. I'm looking into it. I think I will though. So yeah, it's pretty great to see that, you know, this movie was a modern fairy tale story. There was a big battle scene at the end with, you know, Maleficent as a dragon with Jay and all that stuff, you know what I mean? So that was really cool to see that as well, to see her as a dragon. Now, here's a fun thing for the story. Now, this is gonna sound weird, but if they do make a sequel, because Mal said that wasn't the end of the story. At the end, she did say that. What if that was Maleficent? What if they were doing their stare downs while they were doing, you know, remember in that scene where they had the death stare? And what if Maleficent kind of like kind of switched bodies with Mal or something like that with magical power, because she has magic power now because she's outside of the barrier. So what if that happened? I don't know. Would that be kind of a weird story? Like if they switched and Mal was actually a little lizard, with Mal that was a little lizard, and Maleficent was in Mal's body. That'd be kind of strange. That'd be a really fun sequel though to pull off if they could do that. So, yeah, but we talked about the movie, we've gone through it. So she finds love with Ben, the others kind of find happiness of their own with all that they've been through, you know. So everyone finds happiness and everyone's okay and they live there and they become good guys, which is good. That's their happy ending, to live in Oradon without their parents affecting anything. So, yeah, it was pretty good to see that as well. So let's talk about sequels. Do you guys think that Descendants should get a sequel? I don't know. If they can pull it off and do a really good sequel, it might be really cool to see that. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if they want to do a sequel, but comment down below what you guys think. Do you guys think that Descendants should get a sequel? And what do you think that sequel should be about? Leave your comments down below. Updates, I watched Bunked last night and today. I've also seen the second episode today. They were all very good, both of those two. I'm going to be putting my Season 1, Episode 1 review later on, so don't forget that. You guys can check out my Bunked Season 1 bonus video, where I kind of talk about some stuff like that, the whole Luke explanation, all that stuff. I know a lot of people have been confused about where Cameron Boyce is with that story. Cameron Boyce is not going to be in Bunked. He's not in his own spinoff. Descendants is just a movie. It's not a show. He's on Gamer's Guide. He's playing a whole nother character, guys. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of your explanation. And I've also done some other videos that'll be up there as well. So thanks guys for watching, and see you later. Bye-bye.